I'm Josh Rosenberg. I teach at the University of San Francisco School of Law. I started out as a tax teacher. But shortly after I started teaching, or maybe a little before I started teaching, I became more interested in people than in the law, and in the impact of people on the law. I studied psychology, became a psychologist, and then started teaching more and more of the ADR courses here: mediation, negotiation, client counseling, ADR in general. And I've turned more and more into teaching those things, the kind of things about people, and realized as I got more and more into it that those courses teach a little bit about what I think is most important for lawyers, like communication skills, self-awareness, and empathy. That's what I'd say is probably most important. And I wrote this in my article, but the way they are is kind of like, rather than focusing entirely on empathy, self-awareness, and communication skills, they put a little in here in mediation, a little in client counseling, a little in negotiation, and I thought I just want to teach those things in a single course, focus all on those. It's kind of like the way law schools do it is if more and more people want to teach those things, and we all almost feel the need to teach them as part of some other course. And I see that kind of like if you want to teach driving to 18-year-olds, if you teach driving as part of a course in shopping because you need to drive the car to get there, and a little more driving as part of a course in how to get to school and back, it's not adequate. It would be better to teach a course in that case, driving, or here in these skills that I want. And my love in my work is to work on these things and help other people work on those same skills. I think so often we assume that we understand people's motivations and assume we understand their intentions, and we never learn any different. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, oh, you're trying to do this, so I assume you're trying to do this, and then I act as if you're trying to do that, and that's what happens. I think if you can sit and talk to people and say, what are your intentions? What are you trying to do? What's going on? How are you feeling? And you learn, first of all, people are shocked. We are so shocked at how often we misunderstand other people and make these attributions that are just way off base. By learning what's going on with people, we develop empathy. We first start realizing, oh boy, I got that wrong. We leave a little room for us to learn about other people and to consider other people, to listen to other people, and the more we do that, I think the more empathy we develop. I think it's hard if, like, if let's say you're upset by something that happened, you're hurt, and I'm assuming you're angry, and so I say, well, look, I don't have to deal with this, and I walk away. I'm never going to develop empathy. If I can say, I'm assuming you're angry, is that what's going on? And you say, no, I'm hurt about this, this, and this, and this. Oh, and I can just think you develop, it comes, the empathy comes from understanding, being with real people and expressing feelings and sharing feelings. I was talking with Peter Gable on the way here, who ran into John Adler, both of whom are professors, and they knew each other from college. And it turned out they had been in what was in the 1960s called T groups, which are groups of people, fairly small groups of people, somewhere between 8 to 12 people with facilitators. And the whole idea is to open yourself up to what's going on with me, sharing my feelings, sharing my thoughts, but it's my thoughts, not arguing about the law, not arguing about what's out there, facts out there, but talking about how I'm feeling now, what's going on with me now, sharing and listening to other people share the same thing, their own current experience. And my class is basically based on that, having groups of people share what's going on with them in the moment, their feelings, their reactions, having them share that in a way. We teach communication skills, like, you know, if I'm going to say what's going on with me, I will say I'm feeling this and I'm thinking this, and I'll take responsibility for my own experience, rather than saying you are a bad person, or you're a jerk, or you're trying to do this. It's teaching basic communication skills of how to talk about myself rather than talk about you, and how to listen to someone else do the same thing. And the results are wonderful. We don't talk about legal cases in the class. I explain in the beginning of the class that most of being a lawyer has to do with relating to people. When you go in, you have to relate to your senior partners, you relate to your peers and co-counsel, you relate to the staff, paralegal, secretaries, you relate to the lawyers on the other side. Most importantly, you relate to clients. And in all of this, there are actually real human interactions. And if you get the skills, the self-awareness, the empathy, and the communication skills to react well with other people and be able to work through and resolve conflicts, to listen, to speak, you become a much better lawyer. One of the student evaluations that I had said, this course has helped me more than any and all other courses in law school or in any school put together, has helped me become a better lawyer. But, he said, that doesn't mean this should only be a law school class. He said, if I was going to be a plumber, it would have helped me be a better plumber. If I was going to be a doctor, it would have helped me be a better doctor. And similar courses are offered at medical schools. Stanford Medical School offers the same course. Similar courses are offered under the name leadership courses in law and business schools. So we use real life as the meat of the course, not role plays in law firms. Still, the course is about how to be a much better, more effective, and happier lawyer. The course here is called Interpersonal Dynamics for Lawyers. I believe it's the most important course for students who take it. They come out believing it's the most important course they've had. They usually love it, and very selfishly, I love teaching this class. I love being a teacher, and I've taught other things. Last count, I think it was 18 different law school courses. And I love teaching, but this is so different because of the quality of the relationships, not only the students have with each other, but because of the relationships that I get to have with the students. I'm hoping that the program, the Interpersonal Dynamics for Lawyers, will expand. At some point, I hope that other law schools will adopt it, because I think it's wonderful for all students and for professors who are willing to do it. I think they will all find real fulfillment and joy in it. And here we're expanding because I am hoping soon we're going to have Professor Rhonda McGee joining and be teaching this along with me. And that would be wonderful, because she is just a wonderful human being and a wonderful professor. Every semester when I teach this, I learn as much as the students learn, and I get helped in my personal and professional life as much as they get help. There's a part of me that kind of wishes I could say, I know this and I have mastered it now, so that my life is perfect. The truth is, these are skills that we need to work on probably for the rest of our lives. I'm much better than I used to be. I've got a long way to go, and hopefully I've got a long life to go, so I can keep improving. But that's one of the reasons I love it. It helps my own life, and I still need help.